Hello everyone, my name is Amit Singh and I welcome you all to Tathastu-ICS. Well, today we are going to talk about Fukushima Nuclear Power Plant. Yes, again after 2011 this nuclear power plant is back in news because Japan has decided something. So we are going to talk about this specific news and why a portion of world or a portion of experts are so concerned about this particular event, this particular news. Okay, so why is this in news? Because the Japan has said that it will start releasing more than 1 million metric tons of treated radioactive water from the Fukushima nuclear power plant on August 24. Okay, so this video has been recorded on August 24 and by now I think Japanese government and Japanese authorities have started releasing this the portion of this 1 million metric tons of this treated water. Okay, and this has been termed as a controversial step. Why? Because the government says that it is essential to keep up the plant facility that had reactors melt down 12 years ago. So in 2011 something has happened, something unfortunate had happened in Japan which led to the damaging of this particular reactor. And what was that? That was the Fukushima nuclear disaster. So in March 2011, after a magnitude of 9, okay, so after a magnitude of 9, earthquake and tsunami flooded the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant in Okuma and damaged the diesel generators. And because these diesel generators got damaged, so the power got lost. And because of the loss of power, it suspended the coolant supply to the reactors at the facility. Okay, and the coolant supply got stopped, it all got stopped. So the tsunami also disabled the backup system and this eventually led to the disaster, to the Fukushima disaster. Okay, soon the radioactive materials leaked from the reactor pressure vessels and exploded in the facility's upper levels and exposed themselves to ambient air, water, soil and to the local population. And that is the reason why today in this point of time also after 12 years this particular area is still not very much habitable. Okay, and since then the power plant and its surrounding land have been is not very much inhabitable. Okay, so what does the Japanese government want? Okay, now after 12 years after storing this water for so long, what does they want? So they want the water that the Japanese government wants to flush from the plant was used to cool the reactors. I have just told you that these particular power which is used was to cool the reactors. Okay, so because the Japanese government wants to flush the plant and they want the water to go into the sea, to go specifically into the Pacific Ocean. So this water specifically contains radioactive isotopes. I'm sorry, this water specifically contains radioactive isotopes from the damaged reactors and is thus itself is radioactive. Okay, because of the damage because of this damaged reactors, this water does contain some radioactivity. Okay, and Japan has said that it will release this water into the Pacific Ocean over the next 30 years. Okay, now the world is saying that why to do this now, and they are giving their reasons to do it. Japan is saying that nuclear power plants around the world regularly release these kind of containing trace amounts of radio nodules into the large water bodies. Okay, so if we are doing this, then what is the big problem with it? For this, the water is being treated to remove most radioactive isotopes and this water will be far above than the safety standards. So there is nothing to be worried about, because the water which we are releasing into the Pacific Ocean is way above than the safety grades, and this is a practice which the other nuclear power plants are also following. Okay, now why, despite saying all these things, despite saying these good things and despite saying that everything is very much fine, why the move by Japanese government is being opposed? Okay, why there is a section of experts and there is a section of and there are particular countries who are concerned with this particular decision. So broadly there are 4 reasons. Okay, the threshold through which the water will be released is not known. First thing is this. Second thing is there is a material called tritium. Okay, we'll talk about this. And other than this, it is expected that this would be having an impact on the Pacific Ocean and on the lives of of the fisher folks and human beings specifically. Okay, so no threshold, first disadvantage or the first concern is no threshold. The Japanese officials claim that the water will be treated before its release. It has been said that the water has been treated. However, the experts claim that there is no known threshold below which the radiation can be considered safe. Okay, so it has been said that there are some isotopes. Okay, the water still contains some sort of radiation, and what is that specific radiation which is considered safe is not very much known. Any discharge of radioactive materials will increase the risk of cancer and other known health impacts to those who are exposed to it. Okay, specifically the fisher folks. Okay, and those people who are very much reliant on the oceanic activities. Second concern is it is difficult to remove tritium from the water. Now, what is tritium? Removing tritium from the water is a very difficult task. Tritium is an isotope of hydrogen with atomic weight of approximately 3. But removal of tritium is necessary as it is easily absorbed by the bodies of human beings and rapidly distributed via blood. Okay, so this specific material is being said that it is very much present in the water, because to remove it completely from the water is very difficult. It's a part of hydrogen. It's very difficult to remove it completely from the water. And if it is there, then there is a good chance that it is going to affect the human bodies. It is going to affect the people who consume it, and it flows in a very good manner through the blood. Third thing is it might impact the marine lives and livelihoods of the fisher folks in the region. It is said that experts expect that the affected water will poison. This affected water will poison the fish and those people who are going to consume those fish, and also the whole business which is very much reliant over the production and the consumption of the fish. Okay, so the South Korea banned seafood imported from around the Fukushima to Japan's displeasure from 2013. It was such a scary situation, and South Korea was so much reserved with this idea or with this whole incident which has happened in 2011, that in 2 years down the line in 2013 they said that any fish food will not be imported in and around the Fukushima region. Japan was not happy with the idea, but still the South Korea country went with the idea. It went along with the idea. Fourth problem is the impact on Pacific Ocean. Now there are concerns about the water body as well as the region. Okay, the China, South Korea, Taiwan and Pacific Islands Forum have expressed concern over this, because these are the regions which are very much reliant over these specific water bodies. Okay, now the researchers across the world have also called more studies to understand the precise composition of each tank before it is flushed. They really want to know that what is the amount of what is the amount of tritium and what are these things which you are really releasing into the water. And that is why some other options have been suggested to Japan, because there are concerns to fisher folks, there are concerns to the consumption of fish, there are concerns to the people who are living around these areas, specifically Fukushima area. And it is said that maybe that water which has been said that it has been treated is not treated to that level. Okay, that is why China, Taiwan, all these countries, China and Taiwan, we know the history and we know the present that they are not on a very much cordial relationship. China always says that we are going to capture you one day, someday, but on this particular matter they are on the same page. Okay, so what are the other options which are with Japan? First is store the water for the longer time period and then discharge it, because for a longer time period, because for tritium, which is the main concern, it is the half-life, okay, for which it has been stored. The time it takes for its quantity to be halved through radioactive decay is 12 to 13 years. Okay, so this is the time which is required for which this particular material, tritium material, is required to be kept, to be stored. Now the quantity of any other radioactive isotope present in the water will also decrease in this time. Okay, if there is some other than tritium, if there is any other radioactive isotope which is there, then it is expected that if you store the water for such a long period of time, for 12-13 years or for such a long period of time, it is expected that then there would be no problem regarding this. Okay, So at the time of discharge, the water could be less radioactive, okay? And if the water is less radioactive, the concerns regarding it might affect the fisher folks, and ultimately the human beings is very less. So what does the experts say on this? These were the concerns which were some countries were showing, which were around this specific area. Now, what does the experts say? So the International Atomic Energy Agency is in a final report in July concluded that the release, if conducted as designed, what the Japan has said on paper, if they actually follow it, then it will cause negligible impact on the environment and the human health. It is said that if Japan really follows what they are saying in true spirit, then it is not going to impact neither the fishes nor the human health, okay? And the scientists generally support the IAEA view. IAEA is International Atomic Energy Agency, but some lay long-term impacts on the low-dose radioactivity that remains in the water and that needs attention. They say that even the amount of tritium which is there in the water and some other radioactive isotopes which are there in the water, if the water is not very much less, it's 1 million metric ton of water, okay, and even the amount is less, then collectively it will be, and collectively it stays there, it stays in the water for a very long period of time, then it is going to impact the human body. Well, we'll go with the scientific temper. We should go with the scientific temper, and we should go what the scientists and the IAEA believes, and if they believe and the scientists of Japan believes that it is okay, then it might be okay, okay. So this is it with the lecture. We'll meet in the other class. Until then, take care. Bye bye.